It's
this is actually going on.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's even more fun than I had expected it to be. Because you're just talking about something you love.
Yeah.
So
You love lacrosse? I don't.
now I do. now I do more so than I did.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Except when I get sunburned in the box. Just my
In the
lower.
box.
Well, we're on that very side, like
So
with
the
the
sun's
sun,
just
with
like-
with no air conditioning, and it's like 100 degrees in there.
You gotta open up the door.
Dude, one of their assistant coaches looks just like you. Dude. One of Guilford's. I was like, dude.
Just saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're like the 15th person that
dang,
has
well,
told me.
I know.
But
I got so
So much
it
is true.
No, it is true.
It's just the style that was good.
All right. So we're
He's a
up.
little more-
I'm assuming people will join us. If not, they can watch the interview after.
Yeah.
That's what I told Tori. I was like, so maybe in 10 years.
That's exactly what I said, actually. I was like, yo, Adam in 10 years.
Put on a little bit of weight. Coach the team. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, no, I was like, yo, he's going to be coaching the team. Let's be honest.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. People will join in as they get on, I guess. So everybody, welcome to our postgame show. I'm Dallin Kimber, Adam Peterson, and we're joined by Chandler Westcott and Kyle Fujikawa, our co-MVPs for the game today. How do you guys feel getting that win?
Felt great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good because we barely beat them 2 years ago.
Yeah, we actually brought that up a lot in the broadcast, that it was kind of historically the two matchups before 2018, they had just beat the pants off of our team. And then we were able to get that one goal win a couple years ago, and obviously huge turnaround from 2 years ago to today. What do you think? Kyle, obviously you were there in both games. What do you think's really been the difference?
Our offense. I
Yeah.
feel like last time we played them, it was a lot of offensive turnovers, and our defense wasn't as solid as it is this year.
I agree with that. So Chandler, obviously, kind of comparing to last year, those are kind of the issues that we've been dealing offensively with the past couple of years. What do you feel like is different that has cut down on the turnovers offensively for the team and really increased your guys' ability to play as a unit?
Well, two things offensively stick out to me. One, I think we were winning face-offs today, which was awesome, so it just gave us more possession. When you have more possessions, you're going to score more goals. But I think as far as cutting down on turnovers, I really credit our strength and conditioning coach, Coach Barney. We've been working really hard, grinding in the weight room, grinding in conditioning, and running a lot of sprints. And I think that really showed today that by the fourth quarter, we were still in great shape. Like, I felt good. Everybody was feeling really good. And I think that's something that helped with the turnovers, is we weren't as fatigued as maybe we were last year or early on this season.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for you, I imagine there's a little bit more adrenaline your first game back from injury at home.
Yeah,
right? How'd
yeah,
that
for
feel?
sure. I felt good. I think today was my finger felt the best. I mean, I broke my finger a couple weeks ago, and it's been kind of rough getting back into it. But today it felt good, and so I was happy it didn't get banged up too bad.
Yeah.
One thing, Chandler, offensively, we have talked a lot about in the broadcast is cutting down on those turnovers due to the awareness of upperclassmen that we have now.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of seasoned guys that are making plays, putting up big points, and it's really nice. You know, we have guys who have been there, they've been in those big moments, and so when those big moments come, they're not scared and they don't panic, and that's a huge thing, I think, having those upperclassmen who have been there before, so when it comes, you know, they're not afraid. So.
Kind of taking that flip over to you, Kyle. You're obviously a senior this year. Big year, last year playing college lacrosse, but also kind of having a little bit more experience as a unit on the defensive side of the ball. Have you noticed that at all?
Yeah, it's just kind of different because of the change of coaching. So I feel like we just changed our whole mindset and changed how the way we play defense and stuff like that. And it also helps that we have a lot of upperclassmen as well. Yes.
That experience able to deal with maybe situations that you wouldn't have seen as a freshman, but you've kind of experienced going forward, right?
Yeah.
Specifically, your mindset we wanted to talk about. There were a couple of really dangerous offensive threats that we were looking at. We weren't sure how they were going to be handled by our defense today. In number 2, Sakatano, and number 11, Brennan Sweeney, one of the twins out there. What was your guys' approach or game plan as far as trying to slow them down specifically?
Well, we just knew what their hands were, and we were just playing them to their off hands, and we knew they weren't going to switch hands, and when they rolled back, we had slides prepared for their rollbacks and stuff like that.
And was there any specific communication or timing that you worked on in practice, or was it kind of just zeroing in on those specific aspects?
So we're not really worrying about matchups at all this year, really. We're just kind of getting thrown into it and just saying, like, defend the ball. Here's his hand. inherited tendencies, and that's really all we've done so far.
We felt like as we were watching that really showed on a unit-wide level. Everybody was really taking their one-on-one matchup seriously, really towards the second half of the third quarter, where they kind of got shut down and went on a bit of a dry spell. Do you think that focus has helped everybody be more dialed in off ball and on ball with that?
Yeah, because we know like 16, for instance, we knew he was a strong left-handed shooter, so we forced him down the right alley hard, and then when he rolled back, we always had a guy, two playing, his guy, and another guy.
Awesome.
What was the biggest difference from the first quarter where you allowed 7 goals to the second through fourth quarter only allowing 9 goals in those quarters?
I mean, that's the question right now. We're asking.
Trying to figure that out.
Personal opinion, I think it's because of execution in the first quarter. We're not playing as a team, and then as the game progresses, we start getting down and getting more gritty and stuff.
Cool. Specifically on that first quarter, obviously Dallin Hampshire had a bit of a tough time in cage. It's his first year here at SVU. He was on really a tear, over 60% save percentage on the season coming into this game. Was there anything that you guys did as a defense to kind of help him get mentally reset? Because we noticed he was a lot better in the second half.
That's all on him. I think Coach pulling him out and just kind of giving him a little breather was the move, because it really set him on edge, and he came out in the second half.
Yeah.
Really did.
I played with Dallin for a long time. I've never in a game ever seen him get pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was something that really he took very personally, and he just turned it on in the second half. So
Something we talked a lot about was having Caleb Brody as the backup, being able to step in without really much of a warm-up and play a great game that second quarter. Had 5 saves that second quarter, and how that healthy competitiveness between those two has helped build both of their confidence and skill level. And we've kind of seen that across the board, defensively and offensively. We have a lot of guys pushing those starters, getting them better, which is something we haven't really seen since you've been here, really.
That's true, yeah. Very, very true.
Last thing I kind of wanted to talk about with you, Chandler, is we've kind of described you on the broadcast as a chameleon. You have Zach Danneman, who is really, really good at putting his head down, getting to his spot no matter who's guarding him, and getting off some tough shots.
Yeah.
And on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Tenny Schmidt, who's so cerebral as a passer, able to scan the whole field and see the skip passes before the lane's open. How are you able to shift back and forth between those roles? Obviously, you had, I think it was 4 goals and 3 assists today, to be able to complement those two kind of extremes on the attack line with you.
yeah, well, I'm fortunate to play with Zach and Tenny, who have these really strong tendencies, and they're so good at it. I mean, not a lot of guys can stop them, and so it's fun for me to kind of fill whatever role needs to be filled. You know, if Zach's not feeling the dodge, then I'll take the dodge and go right away. Or if he's feeling it, I can move around and kind of back out and be that feeder. And today I felt like I had opportunities to do both, and I don't know. I just kind of I really tried today to just play smart. I didn't want to do too much. I think coming back from injury, I tried my first game back. I tried to do a little too much and get in coming really slow, so that I could analyze and just try to make the right play.
So. Our audience, we have one comment from Michelle Clark saying that they love Chandler. Asked, what was the game plan going into the game on offense? And
like I said earlier, we got told who the main shooters were, 16.
that going forward into the season?
Yeah, I mean, my players specifically, so I just locked down on that and was shoring up his goals.
Okay. And Chandler, offensively, the game plan.
Yeah, so I think 2 things. So first thing we kind of already talked about was turnovers. That was a huge. Offensively, during practice, we did really bad, and our offensive coach got guys to wake up a little bit, and that was really what we were focused on offense. If we just don't turn the ball over, we knew we were going to score goals on that early in the season, and so we really wanted to go hard one side.
Comments or shout outs that you guys want to throw in? Fans at home, family at home?
Thanks, Michelle.
Okay, you guys joining us?
Thanks.
We'll leave the stream live. Y'all can hang around.
Good game.
Adam, if you want to call Coach and have him come down here, we'll get grab Coach. If you guys want to get some questions in to start with, it's in here. You can go ahead and do that. We're also taking replies on Twitter. You reply to the tweet that the stream is posted in. How's it going, Coach?
Plenty warm.
Up there, coming right in from the side. Adam, I think, got a little bit of a sunburn under
Where's the heat coming from?
all the machines that are up and running.
That makes sense.
So we have. Sorry, just finishing up. A message to Shalisa.
Just face-offs. We're not. This is not part of our tradition. I love the guys we've had in the past. We miss them. Face-off by a committee, and part of that is a junk it up mentality. So really coming along, and Jaden, as much as he's hurt, would be. So we've got this combination going on between Landon learning and growing, and Jaden. We're above 50% today, and I'll be honest, I don't remember that we loved him in the past, the Jace Thomases and Logan Lunds, but we've just never really had for him particularly, which is the best in the world arguably, and he didn't really win a lot of those. Just a beast, controlling the oppositions quickly, and then escaping. And so Trevor taught me a lot, and I witnessed a lot. And so then for us, we've tried so we can start working on all of the proper techniques to stop at the whistle. What happens if we lose, the other clan? So much goes into that. It's like you guys can appreciate it's the law of 10,000, right? Yep. So, and we've never spent this much. So having Jaden has got to be where the credit goes first, and then Landing being a great student and a workhorse. So all about that.
Winning at the clamp and then able to go get the ground ball himself towards the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So a lot of that is again Jaden, because rather than you typically with a pull you just rake, and you typically just first guy on our team in a lot of ways. And so what he is learning is how to, because Nick is not a bully. Nick's a smart lacrosse. You put that in.
What did you say to the team going into that second quarter, especially defensively, remaining quarters?
Yeah, so we're, as you guys can see, today wouldn't seem like a victory in that regard. We're trying to get goals against down under at halftime. So coming out, we off. You want to change the tires, change the motor, change the transmission. And I kept saying, we're going to stay with what we got here. So continue to, or didn't get to play with or against, is so much individual effort on ball, massive work in progress. Because I think I took pride on any offense that was schematically awesome. We just take advantage of situations. We've developed great off-ball guys and have great vision. So all today is just kind of needs to be violent, and so the offense did do that, which is great. But now back to the defense, energy was put into off-ball help and off-ball slides and recoveries and spacing and sit down, and all today was not awesome. But as I told the guys in the locker room, they're number 1 at attack, number 11 at attack. Those two are righties, and then number 16 the midi. Those 4 had all of them, and those 4 guys are seniors, and so they're developed, and or they're going to keep coming at you, and we're going to keep defending the ball, and we're going to learn as we make a mistake, and he would improve on it. Now, I don't want to be making mistakes to him about things that he can fix, whereas in the past, Nick, Blake at LSM, Jake, Fuge, all over the place, and Sean had some problems too. But we haven't been tested. This is a dodging game. It's a dodging game. It's a dodging game. And the offense was built on that premise. And if a team's going to dodge like that and bring it, we got to be ready. And today was we weren't really dialed into all the little things we're talking about to defend the ball.
One-on-one matchups very well defensively, but then those last 3 quarters, we saw some incredible one-on-one battles where Fuge got tested, and then took some great battles where they were able to turn away and kind of win those. It's great progress.
And if you know that's what this is about, and you wake up thinking that's what my day is, slide recovery mode.
Yeah. Yep.
And I can slough off my guy off ball, or I can not defend the ball really well because somebody will come help me. When the almost or whatever it was 3-2-1. Down to the end of the guarding him, and he just did one little mistake. He came off, we talked about it, and he's like, I know. I said, well, guys, you got to understand, if we're going to be good at defending the ball, if we're going to pass, you can't, you got to get your hands free. You got to move off ball. You got to. So there's so many things you have to do well offensively in the moment, and then that's what I'm trying to teach it to the defense. But you're right.
It's always being able to start off quick, but obviously the improvement is something that maybe we didn't see, at least considering.
It was literally a back and forth slugfest, punch for punch down the stretch, and we won some of those. Yeah, look, I'm really, I'm thrilled with the finish, thrilled with the win. They don't, for sure in the ODAC, but could be punching in at number 4 if they can nip somebody. But that's their goal, right? Just like us, we've got teams we've never beaten in the CAC. We want those wins. So, but we got homework. That's what I told guys in the locker room. I can't wait to get back at it Monday morning because Look, we're not giving up the stupid transition goals like we did at the
Exactly,
beginning.
and I think that's been a huge difference.
Yeah, 3 man downs, but I think we were man down like 11 or 10. I don't know. It just blows my
Well,
mind.
it's right about it. Adam talked about it.
And that's just because they keep dodging at you.
Yeah.
So, and but if we can get the penalties down, and if we can goalie of us, but we didn't have any riding, not stuff that was like give up goals. So it's really like now it's 6-on-6 for 11. So
Yeah, they had a ton of opportunities about their season average like we were talking about, but you guys held them way.
I don't know why they would be surprised. We've done this since game 1, but the premise is that
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We'll take one question in. We've kind of covered a lot of the things. It's actually from Bryce Gimbert is chatting in with a question for you.
Yeah.
Key takeaways to maybe who was your favorite kind of maybe unheralded working on in practice today?
I think that has to go to Landon, and again because we gave him the game ball where it needs to be, but when you win 50% of your faceoffs and he's taking most of those, so maybe it's not the less obvious because physically we're making him play defense. We're not going to. I've told him I hate true faceoff guys. I think you guys know that. It's if you're going to face off, you're going to play defense and on the ball. But so it's the work he's putting in. He's not there yet. Part of it is don't come into the season, then all of a sudden, things start falling off.
Yep.
There goes the bumper.
We've
there
both
goes
been through that, so.
the rearview mirror. Still recovering from that, and he's learned a valuable lesson. But the good news is, again, to your point, to your question, putting in the work. It's just he's got a mountain to climb to catch up, and I just will pay